What is going on, beautiful people? I am Lee Hammock, the diagnosed self-aware narcissist known as mental illness, and welcome to another episode of A Narcissist Explains. Short edition, quick hit edition. Today we're going to be talking about my biggest regret as a parent with narcissistic personality disorder, and what I do to work through some of my therapy stuff, y'all, with my kids. Stay tuned, like and subscribe. Thank you so much. So one of my biggest regrets at being a parent and having narcissistic personality disorder is that all three of my kids get different versions of me. So I've been in psychotherapy dealing with narcissistic personality disorder since October of 2017, and I have three kids. I have a 14-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 1-year-old. So my oldest son was about 9 years old when I first started going to therapy. My middle son was about a year old, and my daughter wasn't born yet. So I've been in therapy for almost 5 years. So that means the first 9 years of my oldest son's life, I was an unaware, toxic, narcissistic parent. And that's probably one of my biggest regrets in life because I was just a selfish person overall. I put myself before my children, and that just, that bothers me every single day. So right now in my life, the reason I go to therapy, one of the main reasons I go to therapy is to make up for lost time with my oldest son, my middle son, and to give my daughter the best life possible. And hopefully she doesn't end up with somebody like me. So if you have toxic narcissistic traits, go to therapy, get help for your kids and for yourself. They deserve it. They really do. So welcome back, y'all. I know a lot of people, when I posted that video yesterday, the short version of it, a lot of people were, applauding the vulnerability and the authenticity of that message. Y'all, but it's still, to me, it sucks having to say that because my son, my oldest son, and my youngest son now, my middle son are both, my oldest son definitely, he's on social media, he follows my TikTok. He sees me getting recognized in public and things like that. And so he's around and he's seen the growth more than I would say, most people. But like my relationship with him, a lot of people are like, how's your son now? He's working through it, y'all. He's coming out of his shell. He's doing good, y'all. A couple of years ago, I knew that I was working on myself more because he said I don't yell as much. That touched my heart. He's like, Dad, you don't yell as much as you used to. And he's like, he notices it. He knows it. I'm working extra hard, y'all. That's why a lot of times y'all see me doing these videos, I'm super tired because I'm giving all the energy that I have to being a better parent so that they have a better life than I did. They don't, if you're a parent, if you have a parent that is a narcissist or a toxic person, or you are co-parented with one, I know it's extremely tough to deal with that because they, a lot of times narcissistic, toxic parents take their trauma out on their kids. They take their trauma out on their kids. They hold their kids back. They kill their kids' self-esteem and things like that. I tell you, one of my biggest regrets is like literally, all my kids get different versions of me. My little girl, she's gonna get the best version of me that possible because I was in therapy before she was born. My middle son, my 5-year-old, he was one of the reasons I went to therapy because my wife called me a narcissist because I was yelling at him at the top of my lungs when he was like 5-6 months old. Because I was blaming him for holding me back. My youngest son, I done did a lot of stuff in his life, screaming. I was not the best parent, in his early years. But I'm working on that now. The last, 6-7 years, and maybe 5 years of therapy. Just last 6-7 years, more personal development, being more involved with his life and stuff like that, helping him along his path. Because he deserves a better life than I do. He does, I'm putting him out. He's coming out of the shell playing sports. He's doing good. My middle son, he's just the nicest little boy. My little girl, she is something else. But I don't want her to end up with somebody like me. And my therapist said, like, you got to work on you. If you don't want your daughter to end up with somebody like you, you have to work on you. You have to work on you and be a better example to her. If you don't want your sons turning into you, same thing. You have to work on yourself and show them a better example of what a man is supposed to be. So so I'm working on myself, y'all. I'm showing them that expressing your emotions doesn't make you weak. Cry. If you gotta cry, let it out. It's cool to cry. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's my biggest regret, that my kids get different versions of me. My oldest son, like I said, he's seen the change the most, so he experienced the most change. Your middle son is, he's pretty much know me other than the yelling, screaming at him as a baby. He pretty much know me for who I am because I've been in therapy his whole life. And my daughter, I'll be in therapy her entire life, her entire existence. So yeah, that's my story. That's my biggest regret right there, y'all. So I'm just trying to course correct. And I'm just kind of trying to course correct. I know people are like, well, what's your relationship like with your oldest son now? My relationship is good with him. I see him, We get together at least 4 days every single week. We just are. I talk to him every day. And I take him to school almost every single day. So y'all, thank y'all for tuning into another episode. Y'all, I know it's a little touchy and whatnot, but those are my quick hit on my biggest regrets as a parent with narcissistic personality disorder. Stay tuned for more, y'all. Like and subscribe. Thank you so much.